Hi, babyccinos! Hi, everybody! How are you this week? We hope you're doing really well. We are not live today, are we? No, we're not live. We are babyccinos online instead. Babyccinos online because we've pre-recorded.
We're on camping.
Oh, we're off camping! Well, not when people watch this, I don't think. Well, we might be. Who knows? We're going to have a couple of weeks of not doing babyccinos live. We've pre-recorded it for you for this week and next week so that we can have a little break. But it does not mean it's less exciting. We've got some good things to do today. Ruben, what are we learning about today? Jesus.
Walking in the water.
Jesus walking on the water. And what things are in front of you that you're quite excited about doing?
Doing water and making fruit boats.
Fruit boats, that's going to be the last one.
And making paper boats.
Oh, Ruben's excited about everything. So fruit boats are quite exciting. We've got some watery things to do. And Miriam, what are you most excited about?
The colourful water.
The colourful water. We've got some fun things to do. And even though we're recording this on a Wednesday afternoon instead of mid-morning on a Monday, and it's not really that long since we had lunch, please don't do that. We are still having snacks and drinks because I was told we weren't able to do babyccinos if we didn't have snacks and drinks. So we hope you've got snacks and drinks too. We hope you're ready to do some fun, exciting activities. Shall we get on with it? Let's get on with it. This is our first activity. Go! We are ready to do something called damp around the ankles because I think even though Jesus was walking on the water, maybe some of the splashes and sploshes maybe made his ankles a little bit wet. Ugh. Anyway, we're going to do a picture all about Jesus walking on the water. So we've got, what have you got in front of you, Ruben?
Paper.
We've got two pieces. In fact, we've got card, haven't we? Because we thought it might work better on card, this one. So we've got 2 pieces of card. We have got
Sellotape.
Which we nearly didn't have, but Ruben's a hero. He went and got it. Sellotape. We've got...
Lolly stick.
Isn't it just so fortunate that I've got a house full of children who want to, eat lollies? Because now we've got some lolly sticks. We've got person-shaped cutter. We've got some scissors. And we've got some felt tip pens. Now, what we're going to do is on one piece of paper, we're going to make a picture of the lake. So we're just going to cover this in blue. We're going to cover this in blue, okay? We want blue, wavy kind of things. So, Miriam, do you want to start on with that? Ruben, you might follow me with the bit that I'm going to do next. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's up to you, mate. So, on the other piece of card, I'm going to make some things ready to go in this picture. So, Miriam's going to cover her card in blue to make it look like the lake, the sea. So, I'm going to draw around my person cookie cutter. Biscuit cutter.
What's my turn to do?
Do you want to do this bit with me? So do you want to do the drawing around the person as well? Okay.
This is God walking around the road.
So if you want to, you can grab a colour and start drawing around your little person.
Orange.
So I've drawn around my little person.
I think I'm going to do the sky too.
You're going to do the sky blue as well. Everything blue. Just blue, 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 blue everywhere. So I've drawn around my little person, and the next thing I want to do is I want to make a boat. Now, don't make it too huge because we want to be able to see the sea behind it, and this is going to sort of be on top of it, really. So I'm going to make a little boat. Now, I think it probably would have been quite a big boat in the story we're going to hear, but I'm going to make quite a small boat just because it's a little bit easier to show what we're doing then. So I'm going to just draw my boat.
I'm good at you at drawing boats.
How good am I at drawing boats? Well, not very good. So I've drawn a person and I've drawn a boat.
I'm drawing an orange boat.
Ruben has done a brilliant person and now he's going to draw a boat. He's gone for orange. Doesn't matter too much because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this person out.
But could you cut mine out?
This person is going to be Jesus. Now, if you've got time and you want to, you could do 2 people because actually in the story that we hear, there are 2 people who walk on the water, but it's Jesus who makes it all happen. So I'm just going to do Jesus, but if you want, you could make yourself a little Peter as well. And later on, Sharon is going to tell us the story and we can hear all about what happened. And it's quite an exciting story. Can you imagine being able to walk on water? That's a great boat. That's great. A ferry, I love it. That's cool. Do you want to cut those out then, mate?
Okay.
Ruben's gone for a ferry. There's no reason not to do a ferry. I've gone for like a little sailing boat. It's probably somewhere in between. Oh, I love sleeping on ferries. It's so soothing when you're just being rocked backwards and forwards. You've done a little snail. Keep going with all those waves, Mimsy. We want to have a nice big wavy lake, don't we?
I've got a wavy lake.
That's it. So I've cut out my boat and my little person, who's Jesus. And then what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to decorate this a little bit, aren't I? Just to make it look a little bit more exciting. So I might give my boat a little brown bottom.
That drawing
brown
side.
A brown bottom.
Shall I do your boat? The side.
No, keep going with that blue. Keep going with blue everywhere. There's another kind of blue in our pen box as well, isn't there? You could use more kinds of blue. I mean, of course, you could do this with paint. You could stick tissue paper on. You could just go wild with fun making your little beachy, your little sea, lake, watery kind of scene. But we're just going to go for pens this afternoon because we've got a couple of other things that are a little bit messy. I'm going to colour in the sail on my boat as well. I'm going to colour mine in yellow. Doesn't really matter, does it, what colour it would be? But there we go. So Miriam is busy making that piece of card into a nice watery scene.
So I'm finished on that side.
You've finished on that side.
So now
I've got my little boat that's going to go bobbing along. I'm not sure about my choice of yellow now. Never mind. And then I've got a little Jesus. So I'm going to give Jesus a little smiling face.
It's walking and it's this leg and this leg is for it's sailing.
Is it sailing?
Yeah, not yet.
So here's my little Jesus. I'm going to draw his robes on.
What are robes?
There's sort of what Jesus would have worn.
What are lemon? What are they?
It's kind of, I suppose it looks a little bit like a dress or something, but it's not, you know, it's robes really. It's long flowing fabric to keep you cool. Well, are we doing it on this side and just making sure it's covered in blue? So once you've got your boat and your little Jesus.
Oh
no, what happened?
Cookies.
What was it?
My paper.
Oh. What we're going to do next.
Don't worry, it wasn't the piece of paper.
Where's the cookie cutter? Is that still on here somewhere?
Oh.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. I wondered if it was that had fallen off. What we're going to do is we're going to attach the boat and Jesus onto some lolly sticks. Okay. So.
But I need to do.
Yeah. Here we go. Lovely. So I'm going to stick one lolly stick on the back of Jesus like that. I would make it quite long because that's more fun. You can get a little bit more movement out of it then. So there we go. We've got Jesus. Lovely. And then on my boat, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to fix a lolly stick on the bottom of my boat, just like that. I absolutely can. Did you want to start sticking your Jesus onto a lolly stick, or are you going to colour him in first? What do you think?
I'm going to do some brown eyes.
Do some brown eyes. Very good. I did closed eyes because that's what I can draw. And even then it's, you know, it's hit and miss. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to cut out Ruben's ferry, but I've got a boat and a Jesus that are both on lolly sticks now like this. Woo-hoo. Pretty exciting. Shall I cut this out for you, Ruben?
Yes.
I'd like to leave you strong. That looks great, Ruben.
I'm deciding for Jesus to have lumpy hair.
Where's your other piece of card? Is that what fell on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to colour that in blue in a minute as well?
So do I have to colour it?
Well, you don't. You could do it later. The other thing is, of course, you could just miss that step entirely, and
Mummy,
you could have
you
blue
that?
card for that
Mummy,
bit, couldn't
Did
you?
you do that nuts and babyccinos when we're in bed?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Is that what you think I should do? Babyccinos without you guys? I think that would feel a bit sad, really. So, Ruben, we're going to need to stick that onto a lolly stick, aren't we? No, wait, that's mine. I've done that already. We're going to stick that onto a lolly stick. Do you want a bit of sellotape? And then we'll show you with Miriam's in a minute what we're going to do. Because Miriam, we're going to need to make a hole in your picture in a minute. It's exciting though. It's not bad. It's exciting. So there's that to go on there. And then Ruben's going to stick his...
I need to put my picture on...
No, don't. Well, don't. I thought you were going to just... We were going to use this one for now. Yeah? I'll tell you what. You cut that out. Ruben, there's a bit of sellotape.
I've already done that.
Do you need to do it on your Jesus though? I'm just going to do a little bit what I thought Miriam was going to do, but we've gone a little bit mad, haven't we? So I'm going to make a nice wavy kind of picture.
She doesn't have nose.
Oh, I'm wondering if I can find a dark blue as well. You could even put some green in there, couldn't you? It could look a bit like the sort of algae that floats around on lakes and seas. I thought we had dark blue as well. We do. So I'm just going to fill this piece of paper and then I can show you what we're going to do. And Ruben and Miriam can make sure that they're doing their craft as they want to do it.
Jesus is being chased by a boat.
Jesus is being chased by a boat. I don't remember that story. So when you've got your boat and your little figure of Jesus,
Here's Jesus.
and you've got, that is beautiful, Miriam, and you've got some sea, a lake. It's called a lake, but it's such a big lake that it's more like a little sea, really. And what we're going to do is we're going to decide where we think those might go on the picture. And I think, well, my boat might bob along towards the top over there, and then Jesus might bob along down here. And when I've decided on that, I'm going to make 2 slits. Now, children, this is one for grown-ups to do, because we're going to need to take some scissors and bodge a bit of a hole in the paper or the card.
I should do that.
And then once you've got a little hole, without stabbing yourself in the finger, which I just did a little bit to be honest, I'm going to cut a slit along the bottom, one for Jesus. And then I'm going to do the same towards the top, which is where my little boat's going to be. Yeah.
Mommy,
Yeah.
how are you making the hole?
Well, very carefully, that's the answer. I'm just sticking the end of the scissors through
Mine's
it, but
got very
it's a really dangerous thing to do, you need to be careful. So you should be able to see now that we've got a slit in the top and a little slit at the bottom too, some slots for them to go in. And what I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to stick Jesus' little lolly stick through this one.
I think I just hurt it.
Did you just hurt yourself with the scissors a little bit? You know I just said children don't do this. Did you do it? Can I see? I think you're going to be okay. Oh dear. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Give it a bit of a squeeze.
It's not blood.
I think you just grazed it a little bit.
No, it's from there.
How is it?
Yeah.
Well, keep an eye on it. I think we'll be okay. So we've got Jesus down the bottom. Maybe don't stab anything with scissors again. Just be a bit careful. And we've got a little boat along the top. So we can hear about the fact that the boat was going along
I can do it
on the
because I'm a
lake.
bit bigger than them.
And suddenly what Jesus' friends saw was Jesus walking on the water. But I don't want to give away too much of the story because we're going to hear it later from Sharon. There you go, you see. You can have your little Jesus walking along. Did you want to give it a go, Miriam?
And you put up the
Oh,
hole.
please don't do that on the table. That's it. There goes Jesus. And what about the boat? Can you do it with the boat?
Yes.
At the top. There goes the little boat bobbing along on the lake. So I still think Jesus got damp around the ankles, but there's our first lovely little picture. Shall we show it to everyone again? There we go. There's the boat. And you do the Jesus, I'll do the little boat. There we go. Simple, but super cool. So, shall we move on towards our next one? Yeah, let's move on to our next one, which is all about how amazing water can be. So we're going to go on to our next activity.
Mommy,
So for this activity, you're going to need 3 jars or cups or glasses. You're going to need some water. You're going to need some kitchen roll, 2 pieces. And we're going to need a little bit of blue food colouring and a little bit of green food colouring, yellow food colouring. Oh, I feel like I've just given away the punchline. I said the word green. We're going to hopefully make some green water. Now, what we're going to do is do this on a tray, just in case. Don't open it with your teeth. Right, Miriam, you're going to do a drop of blue. Ruben going to do a drop of yellow. So in 2 cups, each one, we're going to put a little bit of food colouring. You could do this with blue and red, that would work, or even yellow and red, that would be fine as well. A very small amount of food colouring. Very small amount. And that will do. That'll do. Stop. I think we might need a bit more of yours actually, Ruben, just because the yellow food colouring tends to be a bit lighter, doesn't it? That's it. And then we're going to get rid of these because food colouring is generally bad news. So we're going to put those there, out of the way of it.
Is it bad news?
Wait. Miriam's already anticipated what we're going to do next, which is we're going to pour some water into this one. Do you want to pour some water in? That's it.
Look at this. Get that going. Look at that going forward.
Beautiful. Just a little bit more. Ruben, would you like to pour some into your yellow one?
But I think
Well, we can do the next bit.
Green and black.
Let's try, shall we? Just careful, Ruben.
Bit more, Ruben.
A little bit more. So as we're thinking about the amazing
Bit more.
Jesus, that's enough. Just the amazingness of Jesus walking on the water.
So put that.
Thought we'd do something fun with water. I think this is a really fun thing to do. So next thing we're going to need to do is we need to put a cup between them, which is empty. There's nothing in it. And next, what we're going to need is 2 pieces of kitchen roll. Now, what we're going to do is fold these into long strips, but we're going to fold them a few times. So you want to do this because otherwise it gets a little bit weak. So I'm going to do mine. I've folded mine in half first, and then I folded it into thirds. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold it down the middle like this a little bit as well. Okay, it's a little bit longer on one side. That's not a bad thing. Okay, so we're going to have a little sort of hook for it to rest on. Can I help you with that, Roo? Yeah, you do really well. You can look after that one. So what we're going to do is...
Could you do the same as Ruben?
Yeah. We're going to fold this a little bit like this. And our aim is to make some green water, which I think is probably the colour of the water that Jesus was walking on. What do you think?
No, green is from the rainbow.
We need to have the shorter edge of the kitchen roll. Oh, you have yours. So your shorter edge needs to be pointing towards the middle. Okay, so have it like this, like a little hook. The long edge, long side, long end, is going to go into the water that we've already coloured. So Roo, do you want to dunk that end into the yellow? Dunk. And then the shorter end is going to go into the empty glass, and we're just going to leave it there. Nice. Mimsy. So the long end is going to go in the blue. And then we're just going to hook it this way and put the shorter end into the empty glass. Now,
Mine's already nearly.
do you know what's going to happen?
What?
What's going to happen? What can you see happening at the moment, guys?
It's going under the kitchen roll, into that.
Yeah, so we can already see that the water, you can see it actually on the yellow side really well, can't you? I thought the blue was going to be a brighter colour, but actually yellow is doing really well, isn't it? You can see here that the yellow water is making its way up the kitchen roll. It's doing it on this blue side as well. It's just not quite so easy for you to see, I think. Careful not to lean on the end of the table. Remember, it's a bit unsafe. And all of it's going to creep all the way down this piece of kitchen roll. It's going quite well. I mean, I know you say it's going slowly, Mim. I think it's going quite quickly, but I wonder, should we put this to one side and see what it's like after we've made some fruit boats?
Yeah.
So this is going to be one for you to watch over an afternoon because it's really exciting, and we're going to show you again in just a while what it's looking like. But we are definitely ready to make some pudding. We're going to make some
Pudding.
fruit boats. Let's get on.
Mummy, I'm going to eat the
There you go, you can hear us now. We are making some fruit boats.
Hello.
We're making fruit boats, which could be your pudding for tea, couldn't they? So we've got some apples and we've got a melon. You could get crazy with this, couldn't you? You could choose all sorts of different fruits. But first of all, I know the melon's very exciting. We've also got some cocktail sticks to fix everything together. Very important. And we've got plates to put it on. But we might try and make them all on the chopping board and then see where we get to. So the first thing we're going to need to do is make sure that there's a grown-up around who can do some chopping. So I've got a really big knife here. And we're going to make sure it is... I know, right? So we're going to make sure there's a grown-up around to do the chopping. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some bottoms of boats. And I'm going to do that by cutting apples in half. Okay. Now I think these make brilliant bottoms of boats. Don't want you to touch that knife, Miriam. I don't want you to touch that knife. Are you going to have 2 boats each, do you think?
2 boats each.
So I can do you another bit of boat bottom making here if you like.
Let me get these seeds out.
Yeah, you can pick the seeds out if you like, or when you're eating them you can just eat around the seeds. So I'm going to get rid of the stalk though. Somehow it doesn't feel very boaty, the stalk, does it? So we've got the bottom of our boat, and they look lovely. They just sort of bobble around like that, so they give a little bit of the motion. I love it when you just put them on their back like this, Ruben, and you give them a little tap. It kind of looks like they're at sea, doesn't it? So I really like that. So there we go. Those are some boat bottoms. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make some sails. Now we've chosen to make ours out of melon. Yeah, that's really good. So I need fingers out of the way, guys, because I'm going to chop the melon into a few pieces.
Can I eat it?
Can you eat the boat? Do you want to finish making the boat first? Might just be an idea. Now, usually what I would do when I'm cutting a melon is I'd cut it all the way down the middle and I'd scrape out all the seeds and then I'd cut it into some pieces. But we're going to cut it slightly differently today. I wonder if I can do this with missing a lot of the seeds, because the seeds we definitely don't want.
There's lots of seeds.
I got some seeds. Don't worry.
No.
We can carry on. We can carry on. I've also brought through a dish. So Ruby, could you move the plates out of that dish? Because I'm just going to use that dish to get rid of some of these seeds into it.
But I need to help.
Yeah, well you are helping. You're doing really well. You're making them. It's just that there's the bit with the knife that really ought to be Mummy doing it. Let's have that bowl. We'll put some seeds in. Because the next thing we need to do with our melon is make some sail shapes. So I'm just going to... Well, don't eat it yet. We haven't finished making the boat.
Oh, sorry.
Wait till we've finished it, hey? And so we've got... No seeds. No seeds. Good. And we are going to make a little sail. It does look like a window. So I'm going to do to make a sail. I have to say, this is a bit narrow, that bit. I might go back to this bit and see if we can make it work. What do you think? Get rid of those pips. This might be a better piece to make it work. They're seeds, aren't they? You're right.
They're not
seeds
pips.
or pips. Well, all right then. You could use all kinds of different fruits. Actually, pineapple works really well for this. So you could do this with pineapple. You could choose all sorts of different things, couldn't you? You could just be really creative. So I'm going to cut this again at the back.
I've got a lever to make mine go.
I must say, you have to be careful with the cocktail sticks as well. They're always a bit spikier than you think, so we need to be really careful with those, don't we? I'm going to get rid of some of the rubbish, and I'm going to just chop down this melon a little bit, because melon skin is tough and it's bitter, and you don't really want to be eating it, do you?
No.
You could use watermelon. That would be amazing. That would be such a sort of vibrant colour, wouldn't it? Don't use the skin. Don't use the skin. I'm getting rid of it. What I'm going to do is cut this bit of melon into some triangles ready for some sails. Okay? So we could have a sail that looks like that, Ruben. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be good for yours?
Mm-hmm.
So
Is
do
there
you
any
want to...
seeds on it?
No seeds. And then what you can do is you can use your cocktail sticks.
What's that for
There's
me?
another sail.
No, only cocktail sticks on it.
There's one little tiny bit of a seed there, isn't there? And what you can do is you can put those...
Oh no, mine's too heavy. Mine.
Well, don't you want to wait till you've made it into a boat? Why don't you eat this little bit that might not be quite so good? What we're going to do next is using 1 or 2 cocktail sticks, depending on the piece of melon and the size of the apple. Just going to stick a cocktail stick in, and I'm going to pop a little melon sail on like that. And there is a little boat that is just going to be a delicious and healthy pudding. Now, you could do all sorts of things. You could decorate your fruit boat with any kind of fruit that you wanted. You could even try and make a little person to go on it, couldn't you? A jelly baby's quite good if you like having sweets at home. We're going to show everybody that in a little while. What do you think?
Where's it?
You're going to eat that huge sail. Do you not want to put it on a fruit boat?
This is mine. Mine's
Reuben's
got
is
a
looking
lever to
great.
go.
Oh wow, Reuben's made his quite technical because he's a bit of an engineering mind, really. So lift it up a little bit so people can see it, Rube.
Look.
That's a great fruit boat. Should we put them all on place? There's one more boat bottom. Do you want to do that one, Reuben? Because there's one more boat bottom and one more sail. But you could make this out of all sorts of things. Miriam has gone for a particularly large sail. No, don't, because Reuben's going to make it into a sail on his boat, I think, aren't you? Well, you could do, but you've done a huge one. Can you show everyone your massive sail? Look at that! That's a huge wedge of melon. Why did I cut it so big? Should we see what it looks like when it bobs along? Oh, it's a bit heavy. I think what we might need to do... No, don't eat it, because Reuben's going to use that to make a sail for his boat. It wouldn't be kind to steal it, would it?
Oh.
You okay?
Yeah.
You have to be careful with these cocktail sticks, don't you? Because they are a bit spikier than you think they're going to be. They look quite innocent, but actually they can give you a bit of a spike. So, look at this, Mim. There's our little... Ow! It is such a heavy sail, this one. But it's... You might just have to... Whoop! It's a wibbly wobbly boat, this one. This one wouldn't last very long at sea, I think. So you can have your little fruit boats for a pudding if you guys want to eat it. Should we... do you want to eat it while we hear the story? Shall we listen to the story that Sharon's going to tell us all about?
No,
So,
not mine, because I can't eat mine.
You don't, you know, well, if you are eating it, be really, 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 really careful that you don't get your teeth spiked on your cocktail stick. You might want to take it apart. But I can't wait to see what people use on their fruit boats, all the different kinds of fruits and things like that. Should we listen to a story now? So this is a story told to us by Sharon. It's a story of Jesus walking on the water. So here we go. Shall we hear from Sharon now?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Good morning, babyccinos. Last week I read a Bible story about Jesus doing something amazing. If you remember, he used 2 fishes and 5 loaves that a boy shared with him, and he fed 5,000 people who needed lunch. Today our story is about another amazing thing that Jesus did just after that lunchtime. He asked his friends, the disciples, to go back onto their boat, whilst he said goodbye to the crowd of people. When they had all gone, he wanted to spend some time alone up on a nearby mountain to pray to his Father God. He went up the mountain to talk to him and to thank him for what had happened. When evening came, he was there alone, and the boat with his friends in was in the distance on the lake. It became very windy, and the boat was being blown around on the water. Jesus could see what was happening, and so he went towards the lake. His friends were getting very worried about the wind and were feeling frightened. But Jesus did another amazing thing. He walked out onto the water. When some of his friends saw him walking on the water, they were terrified, thinking, how could anyone walk on water? And they cried out, it's a ghost, it's a ghost. Jesus said to them, it is me. Don't be afraid, be brave and courageous. Peter, one of his friends, said, Lord, if it is you, tell me to come onto the water to you. Wow, I think Peter must have been feeling brave. Come, said Jesus to Peter. So Peter got out of the boat and started to walk on the water. Then, he felt the wind and he started to feel afraid and he began to sink. Lord, save me! Jesus reached out and got hold of Peter to save him. There he is, getting hold of him. Don't doubt me, Jesus said. Peter needed to trust that Jesus would keep him safe. And when they climbed back into the boat together, all the other friends said, "You really are the Son of God." Jesus loved them all and he kept them all safe. Wow, thank you, Jesus. That was amazing. And that's the story for this week. Bye.
Wow, thanks, Sharon. We love your boat and your little characters. That was a really good story, wasn't it? And what an amazing story. I think it's so exciting. And the really exciting thing is that Jesus is always there for us, even when we're scared. And even if we feel like we've fallen in, like sometimes happens, Jesus is always there for us. And I think that's really good. Now, shall we show everyone what's happened here? I wonder if they can start to see. So you can see, I think you can just about see that water has started to drip into this middle cup, and what you can't see very well, but you will when you do it at home, and we'll take a picture later and hopefully add it into the video, is that the water in the middle is green. It is green. It is green. It's just very, very hard to see at the minute, but we'll make sure we take a picture. Was that a bit of a tickly bit of melon?
Yeah.
We've really enjoyed that. Ruben, which was your favourite thing that we did this afternoon or this morning? Oh no, the sail. I think fruit boats might have been your favourite thing. Yeah, that was the thing you were most excited about. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Miriam, what was your favourite thing? Eating the fruit boats.
Yes.
Eating the fruit boats before we've even finished making them in some cases. But we've had a lot of fun. Shall we finish with a song? Which song shall we sing?
There's so many fathers.
Or how about He's Got the Whole World?
That's not the one.
I think that's what we usually do at babyccinos, isn't it? I think you're still thinking of Father Abraham, which was weeks ago. Should we sing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands? Because we know that God has... We'll come back to Abraham another time, shall we? We'll do He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, shall we? You ready? He's got the whole world in His hands. 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 Has He got everybody here? He's got... Oh dear.
I'm not poorly. My grandma's poorly.
Oh, okay. How about He's got everybody here in His hands? Shall we sing that? He's got everybody here in His hands. He's got everybody here in His hands. He's got everybody here in His hands. He's got the whole world in His hands. We are going to be back next week. Again, we'll be recorded beforehand, so we won't be live, but we are still going to be bringing super cool activities and great Bible stories to you all through August. And we will see you very soon, we hope. In the meantime, take care, babyccinos, and we'll see you soon. Shall we say bye?
Bye.
Bye. Bye.